Last night, I stayed alone in one of the most haunted Gothic castles in the UK. There were shadows that shouldn't exist, lights that flicker with no explanation, and a presence I cannot describe. I arrived just as the sun disappeared behind the hills. The stone walls were cold, and the air was thick with the scent of decay. Locals had warned me, some things in here don't like visitors. But as a paranormal investigator, I wasn't scared. I set up my camera in the main hall and began exploring this dark and dusty place. Whispers seemed to float around me. But when I stopped to listen, the only sound was the wind. I thought it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. But then I felt it. Eyes on me. I turned quickly, but there was nothing there. Then I noticed a shadow moving in the corner of my vision. It disappeared whenever I turned to look, so I tried to reason it away. Perhaps the long, dark shadows cast by the dying light were playing tricks on me. But then I saw it again. I decided to explore the upper floor, which locals had warned me was the most haunted part of the castle. Every step I took on the creaking wooden stairs made me jump. Footsteps echoed behind me, but every time I stopped, they stopped too. There was something about this place that felt wrong, really wrong. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. The temperature dropped drastically and my breath formed white clouds in the cold air. I pulled my coat tighter, shivered, and continued on. Then I saw it. At the end of the long, dark hallway stood a cloaked figure. I froze. My flashlight flickered in my hand and the figure vanished. I blinked, and when I looked again, it reappeared behind a doorway. I took a step forward, then another, and the figure took a step back, its face hidden in the shadows. Suddenly, doors began slamming shut on their own, and the portraits on the walls seemed to move. I caught glimpses of pale faces in the mirrors, whispering my name. I wanted to run, to scream, but I was frozen in place, rooted to the spot. Then as quickly as it had started, it stopped. Silence descended once more, broken only by the sound of my own breathing. I found the old chapel. Light flickered in the stained glass windows, illuminating motes of dust dancing in the air. I stepped inside, and my heart skipped a beat. A single candle had lit itself. Then, just as quickly, it went out, plunging the room into darkness. Fear finally took hold of me, and I ran. I could feel something cold and skeletal slithering over my skin like a shroud. I stumbled through the darkness, my hands outstretched, and a cold hand clasped my shoulder. I screamed and turned, but there was nothing there. My breath came in ragged gasps as I fumbled for the door in the darkness. Then I heard a voice, a raspy whisper in my ear, "Leave, now!" I didn't need telling twice. I burst through the door and ran into the night, making my way blindly down the hill. I didn't stop running until I reached the car. My hands were shaking. As I fumbled with my keys, I glanced back at the castle, a dark silhouette against the moonlit sky. I got inside and slammed the door. I didn't look back again until I was many miles away. I pored over the footage later, checking for anything I might have missed, and that's when I saw it. In one of the shots, there was a ghostly figure standing behind me, its eyes glowing a malevolent red. I felt a chill. Even now, reliving the experience, the feeling of being watched, of being stalked by something evil, something that did not want me there, never left me. Would you stay in this castle overnight? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos of me exploring the most haunted locations in the UK, then be sure to subscribe.